Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. And today let's finish the tool we are working on, a typing tool, speed typing tool. And just give me a second. Let me set up my camera. Okay, there I am. And okay, so let's do the intro again. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. And today let's finish the tool we were working on. There are only few things left. One is the first thing that we need to do is uh, I'm just gonna add more words than this. Basically, a lot more words, like 4x more words. So user never runs out of words. And another thing will be a theme changer. I want to add a theme changer, like button somewhere here alongside this GitHub icon. And yeah, and there are a few responsiveness issues, as you can see. And that's pretty much it. So first thing we will work on will be more words, right? And actually, let's start working on it. One more thing, if you can see, the padding here is a lot more than this words div. So let's finish that as well. How do we do that? Right here in our header, let's remove the padding and see how it looks. Okay, so we need to give it padding top actually. Padding top. Let's give it 8. Did not work. Padding top. Let's look at the tailwind class for padding. The padding top, it seems to be correct. Header class padding top 8. It should work. Okay, there is no padding attached to this, which is weird. Let's look inside our CSS file and see if there is any padding top class. Not wait a second. It's just correct. Let's try padding Y. Okay, that did not work either. Padding top 8. Okay, so tailwind is mess. It's not working properly for some reason. Oh, Okay, so padding. Something is wrong with Tailwind for some. It's not working properly. Let's rerun it. Game run build CSS. It's so weird. I'm gonna use this class, oh sorry, command, but let's make a new file. We have a styles too. It doesn't have that class either. Okay, we have our padding 4 class and padding 8. Padding 4 is actually working. Hmm. Let's try a custom value like 20 pixel. See. Okay, it worked. Padding top. Try this again. Okay, seems to be working. Let's add padding top 4. And now it's working for some reason. I just restarted the Tailwind server or whatever it is. CLI. And I'm gonna remove padding from 2. So basically I want to remove padding for all from all elements. Because we don't need it basically. So, and on footer we need padding bottom. We don't need padding on right and left. And this will work. Now one more thing that I want to do is let the timer run, and then when the tool shows results, then you will see what I mean. Meanwhile, let's come inside our update, oh sorry, make sentences function. And here we okay, actually we need to go inside update words, and here it is. uh, I want to look for the variable where we're declaring how many sentences we need. And that sentences, okay, here it is, 5. And let's make it let's declare a variable and call it number of sentences. will be 10 or maybe even 15, and let's run the loop 15 times. And now if you can see, we have a lot more words. And let's give a max height to this div, which is right here, words container. And we have actually max height 300 pixels, and I think it's not working. Container max height is 300 pixels, and I think it's working actually. Yep, let's make it like 150. And I think this is better. And let's hide the scroll bar. I don't know how to do it, so let's search inside Tailwind first. And here we have scroll bar, scroll auto. What we want to do is actually hide the scroll bar. Okay, we don't have the option. Let's look at it. Hide scroll bar, Jesus. Let's go to Stack Overflow. Okay. And for this, we need to actually come inside our Tailwind CSS. Let's say hide scroll bar. And let's rename this class to hide scroll bar. And instead of width in plain CSS, we can use width 0, height 0. We don't need if for Internet Explorer. So let's apply the values. Okay, not this. Let's apply overflow auto. Sorry, overflow y scroll and scroll width. I, I don't think scroll bar width tailwind. Okay, I think let's use this instead. Let's remove this. After installing it, we need to require inside our plugins, and we can use scroll bar height class. Okay, now I think we can just use scroll bar height on our reverse container. Okay, it worked, and scroll is still working. It's perfect. Actually, we don't want user to be able to scroll at all, right? Uh, you only want to scroll with JavaScript. Able only allow scroll through script. Okay, scroll with JavaScript. Okay, let's try it. For now, let's disable scroll. Disable scroll spaces. Need overflow hidden, and I'm not sure if we can scroll with JavaScript if we add overflow hidden. Let's try it. Now we need to go inside our user types function. Actually, inside our display update cursor, and right here we want to scroll to the okay, we can use this. And instead of okay, let's window scroll, and top will be rect dot top, and left will be none. Let's try this. We'll open the console as well to see if there are any errors. Okay, we will need to type all of these in order to reach at the level of scrolling. To do that, fix that. Let's temporarily make the height of our. Okay, now we will be able to scroll. How out of truth didn't work. I think we need to scroll. First of all, let's disable this. Let's enable the overflow and see if that is what disabling the scroll at all. And let's remove numbers to make it easier. Okay, this is weird. Okay, it is scrolling now, but not correctly, right? Every time we update the cursor, we want to scroll. We scroll into view. I think there is a function. You can use that instead. And okay, let's use this and replace this function. Call it cursor, give it to scroll, and we just want behavior smooth. Let's try this now. Okay, this is wrong happening here. This what's happening is every time we change the position of the cursor, our window moves by the window scrolls by the like rect dot top, which is basically the distance between the view top of the viewport till the our cursor div. And instead of doing that, we actually want to bring the current word into the into the view. And but if I do that, it's still the same thing. I have no clue why is it like that. Okay, let's instead of doing this, I'd have a user types. I'd have a user types. Let's instead scroll into view our state.word. So whatever the current word is, we will scroll into view of that word. Okay, this is not correct. So happening. Why does it scroll down on space? When we hit the space, it scrolls down. And let's say I'm gonna grab like the 50th word and I'm gonna scroll into view. Okay, so not work, I believe. It is working. Why did it scroll right here? We told it to scroll into view of the current word, but it scrolled down. Weird. Let's fix the height for now. And I'm gonna type all of this and see if it works. Okay, this is definitely what we don't. Okay, right here it works fine. Oh, wait a second. Oh, lol, so our function is not running actually. We have commented this out, right? I think it's scrolling by space. If you let's see, does space scrolls? Hmm. Right here, where we deal with space, like if event.key is 32, event scroll JavaScript. How do we do that? We need to disable the default behavior. Let's see if that works. Make I who. Now it's working. And let's move this again in our update cursor function. Let's scroll again. Stay.word or scroll into view. And let's try it, right? We need to give it height temporarily of like something like 50 pixels, and then let's try it. Okay, it did not work actually. Not scroll. Would have scrolled. It dot scroll. It dot word dot scroll into view. It's working right here in the console. What could be the reason? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, it did not work again. Scroll into view did not work. remove this behavior thing and see if it works without it. But okay, now it's working. So the smooth thing was not working for some reason. Let's give it height of 120 again. And let's hide the scroll bar as well. One more thing that I want to do is remove the scroll wheel event on this div. Can do that by scroll wheel event JavaScript wheel event. Okay, we can do this actually right here. Words container, and we can say on wheel we want to run a function, and we will do event dot event default. Let's see if it works. Doesn't. Let's move it. Grab it. Remove it from here. Okay. On wheel, not on mouse wheel. Now it seems to be working. Event dot prevent default. Let's try returning. EURM. It still doesn't work. I remove this actually. And inside our logic.js, let's say document.query selector was container. Actually, this words container, I'm gonna declare it right here on top of the file. Selecting most used slash important DOM elements, and we can say const words container will be document.query selector. And everywhere in the code where we have document.query selector words container, we want to change it with our global variable. Okay. And hopefully our code will work the same. Words container is not a valid selector. We have 727. Sorry. Let's change this as well. And on wheel, we want to run a function. And if I'm correct, it is on wheel. And we want to event dot prevent default. I think this should work now. Yep, it works now. And okay, now space is working. Why is it space? Okay. This is weird. Why is space working here? Let's disable selection too, like this selection, and we can do that by variable logic.js update words function. You can say user select none. I think that's the wrong class. User select, it's select none, and now it won't work. But the space is still working. Hmm, why is that? Space should not work here. Space is scrolling. What should be the issue here? Let's okay. I want to write a comment here before I forget about this. Disable scrolling on words container or with mouse, and I want to do the same thing but with space button key, and say on key down we want to prevent the default. Perfect. Okay, but this also means that our other functions okay, we want to only prevent default if event dot key is equal to space. I'm correct. And then we will return, else we won't do anything. Doesn't work. Just log the event. Okay, so what happens is that when our focus is on body and we press space, that's when it works, right? So I want to actually move this inside our own window. Dot on key down document. We want to prevent the scrolling right here, and we can do that by saying right here, if event.key is equal to space, then prevent default. Okay, this disable this code. What's going on? None of the other shortcuts like Control R are working now. So I have done something wrong here. Event.key is equal to space, then event default. Let's disable this and see if our shortcuts. Okay, now shortcuts are working. Lol, and this syntax is wrong. We need to do this. Okay, the scroll is still. Let me log it. Log rest space on event to target. Let's see the active element. Window.active element focused element active element document or active element. The active element is words, so the space is working on our words too, right? And which is scrolling the element. So we actually need to remove this, come back down here and actually use this function. Okay, now our control reloads work, and let's try pressing space. It still works. Lol, we haven't even done anything inside our code. Okay, let's try now. Still works. Where's container dot on key down? Let's log the event. So the key is actually, we're checking the wrong key. We need to check the code actually. Event.code. And now it will work. Yeesh. Still not working. Okay, I think we fixed it. So to prevent scrolling on our div with space, what we needed to do was, oh wait, roll. None of the keys are actually working now. Like I press M and nothing happens, M and nothing happens. Hmm. This is the problem. We have two events on the same div. So let's remove this and have only one. And inside, so if event.code is space, we want to prevent the default behavior, which is scroll, and continue with our user types function. And now let's try space, and it doesn't scroll, and our other functionality is intact too. Now the time is to check actually if our scrolling works. It works actually. GRETBEQ. Sorry, let's go slowly. So it definitely works. But there are a few bugs as you can see. So when we complete one line, and hit space, our window moves, but our cursor didn't actually. So like cursor is moving according to the cursor is moving according like correctly. The cursor is moving correctly, but because we change our functionality a little, we are scrolling, and because we are scrolling, when we press space and move to the new word, the window scrolls and the actual words replace like go a little above our cursor. So that's what is happening. That was a very bad explanation, but can't do any better, to be honest with you. And how do we actually fix this? We need to only scroll down the window. Like if user is at least reached like some on the end of the second line or the third line. Right now, if user just let me show you. So right now, if I type V and I type E and I hit space, the window is gonna move, right? Because the view moved up and cursor is still on the correct position. That's what's happening. Actually, one fix would be to let me let's move this comment inside this condition and handle user typing event. And now to fix this, one fix would be to actually move the cursor after we scroll the window, right? And we can just do that like this. Wait a second. We can do this that by just moving the scroll into view. First we scroll into the view, the current word, active word, and after that we update the cursor, right? And let's check it out. Hopefully this should work. Yes, it does work. Let's think about it. How do we detect that user has actually typed few words before we start scrolling the window, right? Mm, how can we do that? Maybe we can see if like user has typed at least 100 correct characters or 200. That wouldn't be a good solution for this. What can we do to fix this? Okay, I have think of a solution now. We can check if the cursor position is like on the like we can get the cursor's position from the top of the viewport, and then we can check if the cursor is like on the bottom of this div, right? This let me try to explain. Right now we have this div, right? Let me okay. So we have this div, and we can get the position of the cursor. Like for example, if the cursor was here, right? If the cursor was here, we can get the position of this cursor relative to the top of the our div, right? So let's imagine the total height of our cursor, our div is, it is 150. Let's, there is no imagining there, it is 150, we know that. And we can then check the cursor, the width of the position of the cursor relative to the top of our div. So if the position of the cursor is like, the top position of the cursor is like greater than greater than half of our width, so width divided by 2. If that is the case, that means our cursor is on the last line. Okay, it is not like very accurate, but it will work for our use case, right? And then we can check the right, so that, sorry, the left property of our cursor. So if left is, how do we detect if left is like right on this side? We can check that by getting, we can check that by checking the, if the cursor of the position of the cursor left is is greater than height height divided by 3. So let's imagine we divide the height into 3 parts, right? Sorry, I messed this up. This needed to be width, so h divided by 2, and this needs to be width. So let's imagine we divide our width into 3 parts, right? Let's imagine this is the width of our div, and we divide it into 3 parts. And we will check if our cursor is in this range of width. If that is true, we will scroll into view. And that was very nice whiteboarding. So let's start. Inside of update cursor function, let's comment this thing out, right? First thing we want to check is, actually, okay, first thing we want to check if our cursor dot top is greater than height divided by 2, and our cursor dot left is greater than width divided by 3, right? Let's write some code for it. We have our rect object which contains the top and left properties, and we can say if rect. Okay, first we need to get the width too, right? Get width and height of the current cursor slash letter. So I have been saying cursor, but I meant letter. But it's the same thing, right? Because cursor and letter are uh, right alongside each other. Width and height of a DOM node. So we have offset height and offset width, but we don't need it actually. We don't need offset width, right? We want okay, no, this is actually correct. Let's read more. So let's log the rect object and see. And I'm gonna type something so function runs. We have a left property, a right, height, bottom, and x and y. But these are relative to the viewport. We want the position relative to the words container. Okay. So get x and y coordinates of element relative uh, parent element. Offset left gives an element position with respect to its offset parent. Okay, let's try this. We can get, let's log. Left would be offset dot date dot letter dot offset left, and okay, something is wrong. Offset left. Okay, but the problem is our cursor element is not inside our words container. That means we can't get its position relative. to the container. We try a thing. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. So we need to get the offset left relative to the parent, and we are doing this right because we are getting the offset left of our letter, right? So state.letter offset left. And but we need to give relative class to our words container. So let's do that real quick. Relative. Now hopefully will work. Okay, it did not work. It's relative. Let's try. Is relative and our word is relative. No, it's not. But then what? Okay, now we have left 0, right? And let's imagine user is like typing here. Right now they are like right here on the end of the now the current letter is like on the end of the line wrap, and our value is 1212. It's in pixels, and we backspace it will update accordingly. Sorry, it won't actually because okay, because we can't backspace because previous word is correct already. So what we need to do is get the top as well, and we can do that by offset top, I believe. So let's get offset top, and now we have top. Let's disable the scroll for now. Right now our top is like 266, and sorry, our top is 88 and our left is 1200. So now we just need to look at our top value, and if it's more than 80 we will just, or let's say if it's more than the half of the height of our div, let's do that. Let's get the height of our width words container div. We can do that by words container dot. We can do that by saying words container dot get client get bound client react or something. And sorry, we need to log it actually. So something happened, and now I'm gonna add a helper string here. Here is our words container, and the height is 120, which we basically set, right? And now we will check if the, give me a second. Yeah, the top is right now 0, which is of our current letter, current active letter 0, and that makes sense. And the top and the height of our words container is 120. We need to check if the top of the current active letter is greater than the half of the width of the height. If that's true, then we will scroll into view, right? So let's declare a variable here, const words container rect, and we can copy this, right? And we only need the top, right? The top attribute, the state.letter.offset top. And let's check if state.letter.offset top is greater than or equal to words container rect dot height divided by 2, and 120 by 2 will be 60, and if we divide it by 3 it will be 40. Right. Okay, let's try this. If state dot if letter dot offset top is greater than or equal to container rect dot height divided by 2, then we will scroll into view. Let's add a comment here. If current word is in the bottom of the screen of the is bottom, sorry, not bottom, is the middle of the words container div, then scroll into view. Or then I will, it explains scroll the current word into view if the user is at least on the middle line of the text. If user is typing, let's try this. There we go. It worked. And but we don't want it to jump like this. We don't want it to jump like this. We just want to scroll a little more, right? And I think we can do that by saying uh, words container dot scroll, and we can pass. We will say scroll third, one third of the total height of the our div, and pass behavior smooth. Let's try again. Okay, this is perfect. I like it. It's not scrolling anymore for some reason. What could be the reason? This is weird. Should have scrolled again. Okay, let's log this on every time a cursor is updated. Now it's not scrolling anymore, right? And the reason for that is our top is 132 and our height is okay, what's going on here? Our top is 132, which is greater than the okay. So hmm. Let's log words container rect object to. Let's call it letter position, and then let's call it let's move, get this. Hey, let's see what's going on. I have to type a lot in order to test this. Hmm. So now the top is 88 and the letter position top is 88. is still greater than the which is still greater than 60, right? So it should scroll again actually. It's weird. It should have scrolled again. Hmm. What is this one? This DOM rect object coming from 532. It is the letters rect object. Let's disable that. Top is 0. Words container width is 1279. Height is 120. Top is that's right. Right now left is 1150 and the no clue what I'm doing. They use the wrong. Use the correct one. So letter dot top offset top is greater than or equal to first container height, which is 120. What is that I'm doing wrong here? Okay, what's wrong? So if state, so if letter dot offset top greater than or equal towards container rect dot height divided by 2 and scroll, and we are scrolling 1/3 of the height of the first container. Right now the top, okay, so right now top is 44. Now top is 88 and it's scrolled, right? And top is still 88. Now it's 132. But it only scrolled once. Okay, let's add a scroll, right? And I want to log this value too. Let's try. And now we scrolled once. Now our condition is true and scrolled, and condition is, so the condition is working too, but it's just not scrolling for some reason. If you can see, our condition is working because this is logging. I think it doesn't have enough space to scroll, maybe like this. What if we scroll every time, like, or maybe we can just use the no, window dot scroll does not work. So the function that we are using, scroll. Let's look at it. I think this is the event that we need to use because it's relative to the width and height of the container. So let's try this. Scroll by, sorry. And let's see if this works. Okay, this is wrong. So I think this will work, but what's happening is it's scrolling every time, right? So it's scrolling every time the user scrolling it every time, and we don't want that to happen. Oh, let me see. We can actually make this container dot scroll top. We need the scroll top property. Yep, we need to get the previous scroll top, and then we need to do this. Let's try again. I will explain it. It doesn't seems to be working. There is one more condition we need to check, which is that right now we simply check if user is like right here. Uh, if user is right here and they hit enter, they move to this word. We basically scroll a little more and make the new words appear. But Another problem is that this basically, for the first time it works, but for the second time it doesn't work because the top property of our current active character at this point was 88, right? But when we scroll a little, it will still stay 88. It will keep increasing for, so when new words appear, and so when the new words will appear, we will see that the character is here actually, but relative to the words container, it's actually moved down a little, and its top property will be more than 100, right? And our condition that we have for scrolling will return true, and we will scroll a little more. So we need to check if our word is in the middle line and it's on the last word too, right? We also want if it's on the last word. And how can we do that? We can do that by getting the height, the width of the div, and checking if the left property or the right property of our character is somewhere in this area on the end of the div. Let's see how can we do that. First of all, I'm gonna uh, log the rect object right here. See, I'm gonna move the current active letter to the end of the line. Right now, the left, the y is 222, and we need to get the right, and the right is 1537, and left is 1522. And we also want the width of our div. We can check it right here actually. Well, it finished. Let's check the width of our. Let's log it actually right here and do this again. Right now, the words container width is 1279, and the right value of our character is 1537. And why is that? I have no clue. Okay, this width, right. So this right is, wait, I think I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah, we need to use the offset top, I mean offset left. We don't need this rect. Let's log state offset left. offset. Upper left corner of the current element. It only property returns the number of pixels at the upper left corner of the current element is offset to left with an HTML offset. Let's get the offset left. I'm gonna log it here. The offset is 1174, right? And the width is, I believe, 1200. The width is 1279, and the offset is 1174. This can actually vary a lot. So what we can do is, okay, let's see. Let's get the let's check the width of the, so width is 1279, right? And offset is 1174. So we can check if we can place an and condition here and check if state dot letter dot offset left is greater than or equal to first container rect dot width minus 150. Let's try this. Oh, it's not working. Our offset is 43. Why did it scroll? State dot letter dot offset is, wait, what did I do here? Lol. I wrote it I don't know what I just did there. I wrote it inside the console log. I hope it works this time. Okay, it did not scroll at all. Let's see why. Offset left was actually 1205, which is greater than or equal to width minus 150. Wow, so why did it not work? Okay, let's Okay, so the width is actually 1129 for some reason now. Shouldn't be 1129. Let's see. Container width. Sorry, not width. Dot get incline tracked. Dot width. So why is it different? Okay, so because we are subtracting 150 pixels from the width. So right here, both conditions were true. Both conditions were true. Okay, what is going on here? So let's backspace. Now for testing, I'm gonna set the timer to be unlimited. Uh, let's set something like, okay, not here, actually inside our HTML. Let's add like 900 seconds and let's start it. So right now, our state.letter.offset top is actually 44 and now it's gonna become 88. Actually, when our first condition returns true, this one, our second becomes false. So how can we fix this? Let me look at the offset top property again. Kind of confused about it. Outer border of the current element relative to the inner border of the offset parent. What is this? Let's get the tester element and do that right here. So log date dot letter dot offset parent element. What is going on? Is our worst container, which is correct. Mm. Oh, is it including the, I think the height property? No, no, no. Let me think about it. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, let's try it now. Okay, same problem again. Scrolling multiple times. How do we fix this? I think we might need to use another approach for this. We actually want to scroll when we are on the last character of the current line, but we have no way to indicate that we are on the last line of the current line. Or how do we prevent scrolling again? Mhm. I mean, there are some options which we can try, but I think most of them are actually kind of like dangerous, like dangerous in a way that I will need to rewrite some very core parts of the code, and that might break the application. And of course, it's going to be a lot of work too. One option would be to actually, one option would be to keep track how many words we added, and when in the div, and when the user is on the last word, then we delete all of the current words and add new words. Okay, I think that might work. I'm gonna write a few comments here and see how it goes. So add a limited number of words in words container. And second step would be, okay, let me, well, the second step would be to keep track of those number of words. Then when user is on last word, when they finish typing the last word, delete all the words currently in the words container. But there are a few things that we need to, okay, then one thing that we need to keep track of here is the, let me show you. So we have a function called evaluate, I guess. Okay, evaluate non-corrected errors. And how this function works is it loops over on all the words and get all these red letters, right? So we need to run this function. Where it is? Need to run this function every time before deleting the words actually. So when they finish typing the last word and hit enter, hit space, sorry, evaluate all non-corrected errors, update the and update state, delete all the words currently in the words container, add new words, right? I think this will work actually. Let's write some pseudocode. So one thing that we need to change now is actually inside our update cursor, we can just comment all of this. Actually, do we want to completely change this and start from here? Like if we delete all the words, then we will simply need to start again here, right? And that's not good. Like it works, but I want something like this. Of course, my huge inspiration monkey type. Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, let me fix this. Okay, so let me, okay, I will go into like this word section, and now we go. Okay, let's type 100 words, right? Okay, so if you can see, they don't start from the start, like the right here. They start from the middle line, and if we do this again, they again updated it from the middle line. And the way they are doing this, actually, they delete previous words and add new words. I have no clue how they keep track of things. So never want now general use public new to come then late just no, and I hit space. They added more words. I wonder how do they figure out to only like they only add enough characters to fill out one line, or do they add extra characters? Okay, so they do have extra characters here. Okay, this is actually more difficult than I thought it would be. How do we do this? do I do this? For now, let's comment all of this. Mm, right upper update cursor. Let's comment all of this and let's just scroll into view instead. Like state.word. Scroll. Was the property dot scroll into view. Okay. What is scroll margin actually? Scroll margin CSS. I think we might be able to use the scroll margin property. Let's try this. So it basically sets a scroll but for margin. And I think might work. Words container. Where it is. For margin 20 pixels. Okay, it did not work. Okay, I need to add class actually. Scroll margin and scroll margin top 0. Scroll margin. Let's add 20 pixels. Okay, it did not work. Scroll into view, but add some padding above. Go into view with margin. Scroll bar height. So our scroll margin is not applied actually. Let's try this again. Scroll should have worked. Scroll margin 0. Scroll margin top. What's going on? Let's make it scroll margin top. Okay, let's try this. Okay, this is not gonna work. What is going on here? Overflow X auto. Let's try the scroll bar. Scroll, scroll margin top to be 20 pixels and see if this works. We do have the property. And let's see. So this is not gonna work. I think this might be what we need. Move to blue. You can use scroll to by first getting the elements coordinates using get bound client rect. Then adding the scroll offset, taking your scroll margin. Let's try this. And right here, we don't need blue. And position, we need the position of state dot word. And we are scrolling to position dot left, position dot top plus window dot scroll y minus 20. And this window needs to be window container, but not window container, words container. But we need to remove this as well. Okay, this is not working at all. Why it would not work? How can we fix it? Think I'm gonna take a little break and then I'll be back. Because it's not working out at all. I'm just wasting time at this point. Hello. So I'm back, and it was a long break, but I really needed it because, of course, I wasn't able to figure out anything. And I think I have a little clue to what to do now. So it's basically the same thing, but I'm just gonna retry it, like try again, because I think I wasn't thinking through everything the last time, like before break, and I would like to give it another try. So our objective is when the cursor comes here, this position, at this position, we will, sorry, so when our cursor comes at this position, right, we will jump and take it here, right? And for that, first thing we will need to get the position of the cursor and see when it's right here, we update it right here, right? And see how it goes. Right back in our update cursor function. First of all, we need the width cursor. Let's get these and let's log words container. Let's words container rect is not defined. And now I'm gonna type and get the position. So now our cursor, when we press enter, we need to look at the position of the cursor. It's 88 from top, right? So basically, when our cursor is like greater than 60, which is half the width height, we will update. And we are doing that already here. Yeah. Oh, it's this. Yeah. Whenever when our cursor is greater than or equal to 60, we will update its position to back to here. And what's going to happen is that the position of the current active letter is going to change, right? Well, no. Actually, yeah. Right now, we are working with the position of the letter, right? But we need to work with the position of the. But that won't work either. So that's why I failed last time. Right, right. Hmm. The idea was that when when the current active letter will be this one, and this will be the current active letter. Its top value would be top property would be 88, and its top property would be 88, right? So we will scroll then we will scroll the div by 40 pixels, and but the problem is that once it's 82, right, the next the next The next letter will have the 82 top property as well. The third one too, like, and all the other characters will have the property top 82. And this will not work, right? What is it that we can do? If we can make our cursor to be, no, that won't work. Or maybe we can just get the property, get the, no, that won't work either. I was thinking maybe we could get the value of the, can we actually get the position of our cursor relative to the width? Let's try that again. So let's log our rect value, right? And log words container. And for now, let's not log this. If we can get the position of the cursor relative to the our div, then we can make this thing work. How do we do that? So one thing that I see that both have x320 and they both have y211, right? And they both have top 211. Okay, let's type few things. So as you saw, our code is working, right? And let's check at the rect now. So this is the cursor. Cursor has width of 14 pixels. That is not true. Well, whatever. So its y attribute is 299, which is 211 plus 299. Sorry, let's subtract 299. Let's subtract 300. Never mind. 299 minus 211 is 88, right? So this may work. And if I type ONVERY. So here is the deal. Let me type again. Townhouse, home, play, only, path, way, old, word. So if you notice right now, the y value of, or let's look at the top value, right? The top of our cursor is 255, and it's 255 from the viewport. You see, if I change the viewport height, the top changes as well. So the top of the cursor is 242 and top of the words container is 198. Let's subtract 242.25 minus 198.25. That gives us 44. So this basically gives us the position. So if we subtract the top of top value of the cursor, top position of the distance from the top of the screen to the cursor, and distance from the top of the screen to the words container div, we actually get the position of the cursor inside our div. So that is perfect. Let's write it down. Subtracting distance from top of the viewport to the top left corner to the top of cursor. Subtracting distance of top of the viewport to the top of the cursor. Sorry. Subtracting distance of words container of viewport to the top of the words container. From top of the viewport to the top of the cursor gives us the position of the cursor relative to the words container div, right? So I think now that we have our, let's store it inside a variable cursor position, cursor position relative to, what is it, words container. That's a huge name. And how do we get that? We do that by saying words container, words container rect dot top. We need to subtract rect. Okay, let's change this rect to be cursor rect. Change it here too. I hope our rect words container, what is going on? Logic 7 for 547 right here. Okay, this is okay. So rect, we need to subtract cursor rect dot top minus words container, and let's log this. And thing is wrong, cursor rect is not defined. Okay, so it's giving us nan for some reason. Cursor top subtract words container dot top. This should work. What is going on? Let's log, remove these logs. And WORLD. Okay, we need to log this at least. So it's giving nan for some reason. We have cursor rect and words container rect. Sorry, we need to say words container rect here. And now it will give us the position of the cursor from top. If you look at the console right now, it's 0. Now it's 44 because we're on the second line. Now we are on third line, which means the cursor position is 88 now, right? And this means that we can, okay, let's remove these. Let's remove all of this actually. So this means that we can check if cursor position relative to the words container is less than or equal to words container rect dot height divided by 2. Now it should work. Now the question is whether this will work again. Okay, it is working. It's not very accurate, but I think this will do the job for us. Yep, this will definitely work for us. The only issue that you might be noticing is that when we go to the new line, at first the position is not correct. So we need to type the letter, then it becomes correct. And we can fix that by, so that is happening because we get the cursor position before scrolling, right? The cursor rect. We need to update the cursor rect to be the latest one by before we change its position. Then we can say we just need to do the same thing here. Move this, and we need to make it let, of course, otherwise it won't work. Okay, let's see if it works now. Yep, well, not yet. On the next line, there is a little delay. And why is that? Okay, it's not working actually. Why does cursor updates a little late? My bad. We need to actually have a cursor rect. Sorry, this is cursor rect, and give me a second. I have no clue how to fix this, but at least our scrolling is working. And now we have another problem. The cursor is not updating at the end. So it doesn't update, doesn't work, the cursor doesn't work properly if the correct letter is typed. If wrong key is typed, it works. Okay, I messed up this if statement. So it was correct, and now it will work. I think I mistyped and ended up changing that class. Okay, now our scroll did not work. Just going on. Okay, I actually disabled that part of the code. Oh man, this is so embarrassing. Now it's working perfectly fine. Oh no, my typing. This is a problem that we are facing. The cursor first goes down, then updates again. What is going on? So here is a cursor rect, and we update the position here. When they press space, update this. Okay, let's see. So when the user types a space, we do update the cursor, right? And then we have a cursor rect. Cursor rect, it will give us the top of position of the top. Sorry, distance from the top of the viewport. Then we use that to get the position relative to the words container. Then we check if words container, then we have a condition and we scroll it. We scroll the words. After that, we update the cursor rect to have the new position of the letter. Uh, Cursor rect is top 287 and left is 1494. 1494. Now we press space and it should have been uh, for updating the left is 320 and top is 331, and after updating cursor rect is the same. Okay, you might be thinking I'm not saying anything at all because I don't have much to add here. Error is really something weird that I can't understand, so can't really speak about it. Uh, After scrolling, we need to get a new top and left of the current div. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Uh, you know what? I can't really figure this out, so I'm ending the stream and hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, but I think still this stream was a success as we implemented the feature to scroll. We could not implement or could not figure out the cursor thing where it is moving in a wrong way. Let me show you what I mean. And now if I type D and press space, you can see the position is wrong, but if I press the key, it comes back to the original position. So I will take a look at this tomorrow and hopefully fix it. Bye.